Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took 3 trades this morning. I have them all on video. We're going to go over everything right now. If you'd like to download the tools that you'll see me use in this video, you can go to the Trading Armor YouTube channel, click on the little Facebook icon. That'll bring you over to the Trading Armor Facebook trading group where you can become a member. Click on Files. You can download my trade tracking spreadsheet, my trading plan, my 2-hour calculator, all that good stuff. So let's take a look. First, as always, I start with Webull open on, let me show you from the beginning. If you open up Webull, you'll probably see this. Or if you don't, click on the markets pane, select top gainers, pre-market, because that's when we're trading. Click on all. Then I organize by volume. I'm only interested in the top 3 stocks while I'm trading because the higher volume gives them a little bit more of a chance of continuing in the trend direction that they're going, which obviously these are all trending up because they're top gainers. And then after that, I just look for the float size, and I want them to be 110 million shares or less. Unless it's the number 1 stock, then I'll consider it up to 500 million shares. So let's look at the video. So this is what it looked like when I opened it up at like 401. CEMI was the only one I was interested at this point. These both have way too large a float size for me to consider, plus they're out of my price range. So CEMI was the first one on the list, and these were left from last week. I forgot to clean my watch list up, but I do delete them pretty quickly. And if you saw on that kind of zoomed out view there, the reason why this stays on the watch list is because it's trading higher than the previous session. This is the aftermarket, and also the previous day. So that's my signal to look for an entry. And this is a really, really nice setup here. So I just marked out the previous high. So here it is. It's over here now because I deleted the other 2 stocks. That's the previous high. So obviously we're trading above. This is the bottom of the ABCD pattern. So that's point A. And then right now this is point B. And I'm just waiting for a pullback to give me a signal for entry, which my entry is always the break of a 1-minute candle after the pullback. And this means that NNOX popped up on that same screener you saw earlier, but I have that open on my laptop so you don't see me go over to it. And that's a really convenient thing because it keeps me from missing entries and other opportunities that I might miss if I was flipping back and forth on the desktop. So I think that's pretty much crucial for the way that I trade, is to have a laptop sitting right next to my desktop, or I guess if you have 2 laptops that can do the same thing. Excuse me. So right now I'm looking for the entry here on CEMI. You can see I'm hovering over this candle. It has a high of 577. So I'm watching this little bubble here. As soon as I see 578 or better, I'm going to trigger my hotkeys to buy. And they're set to buy the ask because that's where the sellers are, and you have to buy from sellers. You don't buy the bid because that's buying from buyers. You can't buy from buyers. Okay, there we go. So you saw it went from 577 to 8 and 9 really quickly there, and I triggered my hotkeys to get in, and I got a little bit of slippage, only 2 cents, not a big deal on a stock this price. And often that's a sign of strength, you know, when you get slippage on the way in, that everybody was looking to buy at that area, so the price will continue higher, and that's a good thing. You saw me use my 2-hour calculator there. I put in my actual entry, 580. My stop, which will be 1 cent below the previous candle, and that gives me my 2-hour target. So that's 2 times the risk. So risking 18 cents, then I'm looking for 36 cents per share in profit. So here I'm just marking out that profit target because the price is oscillating around my entry, so there's no reason to put the order out right now, because if it comes down and stops me out, I want to be able to use my hotkeys to get out. If you have an order out there already, even if it's for your profit target, Webull's going to think you're trying to short sell a stock because you already have an order out to sell all your shares, and now you're trying to sell shares again. So that's why you don't just, if the price is staying above your entry, then you should have it out there because it could pop up at any moment. And I think you'll see me put it back out at some point, maybe, unless it never stays above there. So anyway, NAOV also popped up on the top 3, and another nice setup, trading above the previous 2 sessions. Okay, so Yeah, CEMI obviously came down and stopped me out. My stop loss was 562, so right now it's at 566. There, you see it came down real fast, and as soon as I saw that, I'm looking for entries on these other stocks, so I might have been, a millisecond slow or something, but I still hit my hotkeys pretty quick and got filled at 560, so 2 cent slippage, not too bad. So now I'm looking for an entry here on NAOV, which needs to be 1 cent higher than this candle, which is 134. So if I see 135 or more, I get in. There it is. So we'll watch the entry, 134. There's the 135. You saw me trigger my hotkeys immediately. It got filled at 137. Again, a little slippage on the way in is not a big deal, and it's often a good sign. So remember how I was saying what a great setup that was, and it failed. That was really the point. I kind of missed that when it happened, but that was the point I was trying to make, was that even these like textbook strong setups can and do fail, and that's why we have to take our stop losses, because you never know. You can't just say, oh, this is such a great setup, even though it's hitting my stop or it's going down, I'm just gonna hang on because this can't fail because it's such a great setup. No, there's no rules in the stock market, so you do your best by entering those good setups or highest probability setups, but you should always expect them to fail, because they do sometimes, and sometimes it happens often in a row. So my trading plan and strategy says that once I've entered one of these stocks, if it does fail like this, as long as the ABCD pattern hasn't been broken, which means that the price hasn't gone below the lowest point, which is below this chart right now, that I have to enter again as soon as the next entry is given, which is the next time a 1 minute candle makes a new high, which would be right here. But you can see how it kind of gapped up, because it looked like there was like a little chart glitch there. Let me show you again here. Like, watch how the chart changes here. So yeah, there you go. So I'm not sure what happened there, but it was a little glitch, and now I missed the entry, because the entry would be for the break of this candle, which would be 567. So I'm not willing to get in unless this thing comes back down to that level without stopping me out, obviously. So what I do is I put in a limit order at the price, that 567, and that way if it comes down, which it did, then it fills me. So I got my ideal entry, and now my stop loss again is the low of this candle, 1 cent below actually. And I think we're up to date now. Yeah, and I think this is 3 trades total at this point. So I'm basically done here with trading. I can't take any more entries, so that's why I got rid of that other stock. And now I just have to work these trades, which means I either hit my profit target at 2R or I stop out. All right, so NAOV comes down, stops. Actually, okay, this is interesting. I think at this moment I was looking at the screener or something, because obviously it stopped me out, but I didn't exit. And as soon as I looked back over here, I think at that moment, because you see my cursor move, I realized what had happened. But I also noticed that, okay, now it's above my stop. And I don't actually have a rule or anything in my plan to deal with this situation. This is the first time it's happened since I've been trading this plan for the past like 4 or 5 months now. Believe it or not, this hasn't happened yet. But so I basically treated it like a chart glitch, because that's the closest thing. And my rule for that is, like, let's say that this candle didn't form properly and it showed this little bottoming tail after the fact, but right now it's above my stop, then I have to stay in it until my target gets hit or it hits the stop loss again. So and my stop loss was 127, so you can see it's above that right now. So I just applied that rule. I thought that made the most sense, because the one time that glitch happened, it went and hit my 2R target. So it made sense to give it another chance, since I missed my exit. because it results in the same trade no matter what. If it comes down and stops me out again, I stop out, and it's the same exact loss that I would have had if I stopped out when I was supposed to. But like I said, I just wasn't looking at the chart in that moment. I try not to do that, but like I said, I've probably been trading this plan, or at least with these rules like this, for at least the last 100 trades, if not more. And this is the first time that's happened. So, like they say, there's no perfect trader, there's no perfect plan. So, right now it looks like both of these trades have a chance of working out. This one came down and it's kind of bouncing off of that support level, going higher. This one, same thing. It's going up from my stop loss level, so things are looking good at this moment. Let's see what happens. So now it's right on the line. If it breaks that line, I have to stop out. I'm watching it. This time you can see my cursor's in the box. I've got it highlighted. You can see that blue rim is around there, so that means I've clicked in there. So whatever I do with my hotkeys, it's going to happen on this stock. So it's just kind of sitting there for a long time. And while I was waiting for this thing to stop me out, I canceled that order, because now this one that looked like it was going to hit my target is now coming down hard against me. So it's best just to cancel those orders. You can always put them back out. And this one's just sitting here. I'm just staring at it at this point. And I kept hitting refresh. I don't know. I guess at that point, yeah, I started hitting refresh thinking it was a glitch, but it wasn't. There, you see me hitting refresh, but nothing changed. So there, now it went below. Now this is kind of the same exact thing again. I mean, I saw it this time, but watch what happens. It comes right back up to 128, and my stop loss is 127. So I said, you know what? Let me do that one more time, because I missed the opportunity to exit at my stop loss. So now it's above my stop loss again. And since I missed it, I'm just waiting to see if it continues higher or comes back down and hits my stop. There, hit my stop, and now I exit. So that wasn't me like bending or breaking the rules. I just missed both of those exits, and since it was now up above my stop loss, it didn't make sense to me to exit out. So, but I probably should write that in my rules. That's the plan. That way, there's no question, because that never really happened before. So that was 2 failed trades, and now we're in the last trade. And look at that, just like that, this one comes down and stops me out. There, 556. Let's see how quickly I hit my... There, I've triggered my sell all key. It got filled at 556, so at least on that one I didn't get any slippage. But yeah, three trades failed, and they were all really good, strong setups. And it just goes to show you that you always have to take your stops no matter what, because you never know. Even the best setups fail. And look at this thing. Look what it did after. This is where I stopped out. It just continued down. Even with all of this, upward momentum, this is pretty much ideal. This is like what I look for. And if I get into a trade like this, I just, feel like, oh my gosh, I hit the jackpot. I know this is going to work. There's nothing going on here on Thursday was the last trading day. And then in the aftermarket on Thursday, a bunch of people came in and drove the price up out of nowhere. So this is very likely to continue higher in the pre-market, and it just didn't. And the same thing here, actually even more so on this stock, which it looks like it might eventually continue higher, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm done. But again, no trading on Thursday, and none in the aftermarket. It just comes out of nowhere in the pre-market, and usually after the first pullback, sometimes you only get one candle. These just continue higher and higher. So they're great setups that just failed. So that's why you take your stop loss, because you never know. And don't use this as an example as, oh, well, I could have held and hoped on this and maybe eventually it'll hit my target. Maybe it will, but that will bite you more times than it will save you. So it's not a good thing to get into. So let's look at the spreadsheet real quick and then we'll wrap this video up. So unfortunately, this is again, I've been trading this now for really since the end of October. And this is the first time in all those trades that I've had, I'm trying to zoom out to give you, a wider view, but that I've had 3 failed trades in a row, 2 days in a row, 2 trade days in a row at least. That's never happened before. The last 2 months, I think I had 3 failed trades in a row. 3 failed trades in a row, twice throughout the whole month. One here and one there. And then in February, I think it happened. Yeah, it looks like maybe 3 times. Yeah, 3 times in February. So pretty unusual. But, again, I have over now 100 trades, I think, with this plan starting in the end of October. And I know this plan works, so there's nothing for me to do here. Just keep trading the exact same way and wait for things to kind of turn back around. These are basically worst case scenario days, and you can see that the losses are still pretty small relative to the account size. And actually the account is going to be a little bit bigger than this, I think, just later this morning, because I made a deposit as per my plan to grow the account slowly and safely. Whenever I have a green month, like I did last month and the month before, I deposit that amount into the account. So I just made a deposit, I think on Friday, because I'd forgotten about it on Thursday, of $57.23 to match my gains for March. So you'll see that pop up later this morning. Probably not. Yeah. Oh, there it is now, actually. 702.76. That wasn't there earlier. So actually the account is bigger than what this is showing, and I'll adjust it later. But what I did was showed you the percent change so far from both red days, considering the deposit. So right now we're down about 2.5% on the month, and that's after 2 worst case scenario days. So I think that's pretty good. That's telling me that even when things are going to be really bad, the losses are going to be small relative to the account, so it should be able to bounce back from this no problem as the month goes on. I think last month our total wins, not just, this is the P&L, so this is wins and losses, but our total wins last month were 115, right? So that's, you can kind of think about, that's basically your cushion for the month. I guess if I had around $100 in losses, that I would probably end up break even or something like that. So anyway, we'll just see what happens. But nothing is going to change just because we had 2 bad days, not because of what I did, not because of my plan, just because of that's the way the market is sometimes, and there's really no way to tell when it's going to be easy trading and when it's going to be bad trading. Again, last month, at the beginning of the month, I was trading these exact same setups, and look at this. I had 9 green days in a row. So, it's just the way it goes sometimes. So hopefully tomorrow things turn around, but if not, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing until the month is over. So anyway, just want to leave you with, always take your stop losses, just like I did today. Honor your profit targets, and you should be green in the long run. Take care.